Yo, what up? It's McLovin, and this is my Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree boss tier list. Let's start things off with Jedi Master Yoda. Oh shit, I mean Swordmaster Onze, sorry. They really do have a lot of similarities. Miyazaki and From Software definitely got a lot of inspiration from Star Wars. But anyway, Onze is a tiny swordsman who uses a katana with magic attacks. I'm pretty sure it's glintstone magic, but don't quote me on that. This is an excellent fast-paced fight, and for that reason I have it at S tier. The lore behind Onze is pretty cool, as he's a swordsman who had basically a special mission, to put it vaguely, and he realized if he went down that path it would just only lead to darkness. So he decided to imprison himself at the bottom of that cave where we meet him. So overall, this is an extremely fun start to every one of my DLC runs, and easy S tier for me, Swordmaster Onze. Next up is the Divine Beast Dancing Lion. To me, this is one of the most unique, coolest, most underrated boss designs in the game. It's two guys dancing in the lion suit. Like I didn't realize that my first playthrough, and when I found that out, I was just absolutely mind blown. But overall, I have the dancing lion as a B tier fight. I think the visuals and the atmosphere of this fight is just amazing. It's stunning. It has three phases: the regular wind phase, the lightning, and then the snow phase, all of which have the same moveset, just different elemental effects to their attacks. The coolest part of each phase is when the weather changes. It starts to rain during the lightning phase, it snows during the frost phase, and it's normal during the wind phase. But overall, the fight is just a beautiful visual spectacle. The actual fight part itself, to me, like the moveset and everything, is okay. It doesn't live up to the visuals, but it's still good. And with interesting lore, I got this fight as a B tier. Okay, time for one of my absolute favorite boss of all time. And just straight up amazing and fun fight, Twin Moon Knight Rellana. Like, holy shit, this fight is just perfect.
I gotta tell you, it was perfect. Perfect. Everything, down to the last minute details.
Rellana has one of my favorite movesets to fight against. Her moves are just so quick, but at the same time, she's smooth with it. You know what I mean? Like, she's cool as hell, and this fight is extremely difficult. She has a good mix of range and close attacks, and the range attacks kind of force you to fight her face to face, so you can't just sit back and spam magic or stuff like that. Her second phase is beautiful with fire and magic swords. My only issue with this fight is that there's no goddamn cutscene. Like how do you make a boss with this much drip and not give her a freaking cutscene to set the mood? It's just one of the best fights of all time. It's just absolutely criminal that they missed out on that. Still, overall, this is easily an S tier fight for me. I mean, Rellana's probably my second favorite moveset to fight against behind Godfrey's. I think Godfrey's second phase is cooler, but yeah, Rellana easily top S tier. One of the best fights of all time. Boo! Did I scare you?
No!
This boss definitely gives me the creeps, and that's Midra, Lord of the Frenzied Flame. Another absolute home run of a boss. Holy shit, they absolutely cooked with this one. First of all, stumbling across and trying to figure out how to navigate through the abyssal woods was just an unforgettable experience. I was absolutely terrified the first time Torrent bucked me off his back and was too scared to come back out. Then facing those fucking nutsack creatures, whatever the fuck they were. Yeah, the ones you had to parry before you were able to hit them, they had me shook. The whole adventure to get your Midra's mansion was just an amazingly traumatic gaming experience for me. And Midra's boss fight was the cherry on top. This fight was just so much fun. Midra has a fast yet slow and delayed moveset. He switches the tempo and rhythm up pretty it's just unique. It's extremely fun. It's a great challenge. Everything about this fight was S tier, and that was an easy decision for me.
Bayle! Vile Bayle!
incarnate! There is life in me yet! I will soon feast upon your heart! Mark my words! You too shall know fear!
That's peak voice acting, if you ask me. It doesn't get any better than that. There's never been another NPC that's gotten me so ready and so pumped up and hyped for a fight than Egon. I mean, come on. Let me say this. All dragon fights suck, besides Putrescent. They're just the same thing, different elements. Bayle is just a peak dragon fight. It's not just a peak dragon fight. It is a great fight altogether. I don't know if I can think of a cooler atmosphere or a cooler boss arena. Just first things off, the journey to get here is just so epic. You gotta fight the ancient dragon man, get that dragon katana. You go through the mountains fighting all the dragons, watching the dragons fight themselves. It's just absolutely amazing, climbing the mountain through the storm. And then you get to the arena and Bayle has one of the coolest, most epic entrances of all time, where he just drops in. It sets the mood. It gives me goosebumps every time. It gives me the chills. It's just an all-time gaming experience. I wish I could relive my first playthrough over again. I just loved every second of it. But the fight is just as hype as the journey. Bayle is as intimidating as hell. My heart was racing the whole fight. But when he transitions to stage 2, shit gets real. To me, Bayle is just... he has the coolest second phase in the whole game. DLC and base game. Visually and mechanically, the moves are as cool as they look. He just starts flying around, spitting fire everywhere. All hell is let loose in phase 2, and it's just an absolute beautiful, chaotic experience in every single way. Easily S tier for me, and it's the best dragon fight of all time by far. It's not even close. Another peak experience, peak boss fight. This next fight is top of its class. Too bad that class happens to be fucking ass. It's top of the ass class. Holy shit, this fight sucks. This fight's doo-doo. The Golden Hippo is easily F tier. I don't want to spend a lot of time on this slop of a boss. The hurt and hitboxes suck. I will never use anything other than the Blasphemous Blade for this fight. That sword just puts this fight on easy mode. There's not much more to say. This fight sucks. The boss is ugly and the boss is boring. Easily F tier. Up next, we got Radahn's battle buddy, and that's Commander Gaius. Now, Gaius is a legless albernac who rides a giant boar. He's a ferocious boss, which leads to a fast-paced, action-packed fight. Gaius uses gravitational magic, which adds cool elements to his moveset. He was basically Radahn's mentor and war buddy, which is pretty cool lore. Overall, it's a pretty decent fight. I have it as a C tier because the fight's a lot less fun without the Blasphemous Blade, but overall, still pretty good. Still a good boss. I had a lot of fun. And that's Commander Gaius. Not too much more about that. Next up, we got the Putrescent Knight, and I gotta say the coolest part about this is jumping down into the boss arena. I don't have much to say or much of an opinion of the Putrescent Knight. He's straight up average to me. I have him as C tier. The lore behind him is he drank St. Trina's nectar, put him in eternal sleep, but also basically making him St. Trina's protector. The lore is average, the fight's average, the boss design's average. I got it as C tier. Let's move on. Mid tier, Mother of Fingers. It's definitely one of the more interesting looking bosses, I guess. She looks freaky. Bunch of hands and thumbs put together. But this is another C tier boss for me. The fight's not bad. She's got a pretty fun moveset to play against, but there's nothing special about this fight. And as an optional boss, it's definitely one that I skip. After, I played it my first playthrough, maybe the second time, and I pretty much skipped it every time. And it's not just because the boss is kind of boring. I mean, the boss is alright. The fight itself is alright, but the long boring, tedious quest line that you have to do just to get to the fight absolutely ruins it for me. It's just so much, like, it's not hard, it's just annoying. You gotta go blow those whistles all over the place, and you gotta avoid those fucking worm monsters. It's just annoying. But even though the lore is pretty cool, overall this fight's a C tier for me. Not the best. The quest line, it would be probably a B tier if the quest line wasn't so long, tedious, and boring. But C tier. Let me ask you a question. Do you like sunflower seeds? If so, what's your favorite flavor? Are you a typical boring ranch person, or are you a weirdo who likes original? Do you want to be quirky, so you go with dill pickle, nacho cheese, taco, something like that? What's your favorite brand? Is it the OG David's, Biggs, Frito-Lay? My personally go-to is Frito-Lay Ranch. And when I want to be quirky, I go with the Biggs bacon flavor, or maybe David's nacho cheese. But why do I bring this up? Because it's more entertaining than this garbage-ass boss, the Scadutree Avatar. I put this at D tier, but it's really an F tier boss with how boring it is. There's nothing special about fighting this, and there's just something about fighting a giant sunflower that I absolutely hate. I guess I have it as D tier because the movesets, it's not awful, but I mean, it's a sunflower. Like, come on, it's boring. The only good thing about this fight is the moveset's decent, and the reward you get, Miquella's Great Ruin. That helps you a lot in the Radahn fight when you get grabbed. It takes away the status effect that Miquella gives you. Yeah, so getting the Miquella's Great Rune is very useful, but still, this is a skippable boss easily. Romina, Saint of the Bug. This boss is another boss it's fun to play with the Blasphemous Blade, but it's a lot less fun when you don't use that or an OP weapon. I mean, I have it as C tier because of that reason. I think everything's pretty cool. It's a unique boss. I think they should have given her maybe a short cutscene, especially because it's such a meaningful, mandatory boss. But, I mean, there's one afterwards when you burn the tree with Messmer's flame. But, I don't know. They could have given Romina just a little short intro cutscene to set the mood a little bit. Still, overall, it's a decent fight. Nothing special. The hurt boxes, the hitboxes are a little weird when you're not using, like I said, the OP Blasphemous Blade weapon. But overall, still a decent fight. I got it as C tier. Now it's time for the poster boy of the DLC, Messmer. And let's get right into it. Overall, this is easily the best boss fight in the DLC. Everything about this fight is just perfect. The cutscenes are cool. And they get you really hyped for Phase 1 and Phase 2, both of the cutscenes. Messmer himself is just a fucking sauce god. The dude is swagged out. He's got all the drip in the world. He talks the shit. He backs it up. This fight's tough as hell. I think Rellana has a slightly better and more fun moveset to play against. But overall, the full experience of Messmer with the lore behind him, the cutscenes, his drip, everything about the fight is just, I think, overall better fight than Rellana. So that's why I put Messmer in the top spot of the DLC. I think still Godfrey is the best overall boss in the game, but Messmer's a close second for me, S tier. Lastly, we got the iconic Promised Consort Radahn. This terror of a boss had the world shook when he first dropped. I mean, it was all I could see on Twitter and YouTube, people talking about how hard this boss is. I've never struggled so hard against any other boss in my life. Promised Consort Radahn had me in absolute hell. I'm not ashamed to say that I lost count after 50 tries against this fucker. The problem is that a lot of the difficulty was artificial difficulty to me, in my opinion. The hardest part about this boss was just, one, Miquella's holy magic was just absolutely blinding in the second phase. You couldn't see anything. And two, Miquella's hair was just huge, and when you're in a certain position, it blocks Radahn's attack. You can't see what's coming, and it's just frustrating. It's just artificial difficulty for me. It's not good. It just blurs your vision. But anyway, I see they're what they were trying to do with this boss. They tried to make this the most difficult epic boss ever, and I mean, if you're bringing Radahn, the legend himself, back, I feel like you have to make him the most difficult, just legendary boss ever. But just too bad for me, they didn't really hit the mark with this one. I have it as B tier, but to be honest, it could have been a little lower than that. I feel like I only have it as B tier because of who Radahn is himself, and because of how much I love Radahn as the character and how much I loved his fight in the base game. So, you know, I may be a little biased here with the B tier, because this could easily be a C tier fight. I don't know, but I still have a lot of fun with this boss, even though it's a little disappointing, and it's a B tier for me. And that's a wrap. That is it for my Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree boss tier list. If you made it this far, I want to say thank you for watching. Please hit that like and subscribe button. We're starting up a Dark Souls 2 and 3 marathon April 1st, so I'm excited for that. I still gotta drop the Madness video, finish that up. Yeah, so please hit that like and subscribe. This was a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed. And here's my final Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree boss tier list. Peace.